everybody! Welcome back to Connerty Meadows Farm. I'm Ricky, and today we are going to be putting in our pergola. Yesterday we cut all the cedar down from the woods and we peeled them all, and today we are going to be laying it out and hopefully getting a bunch of it done. So come along for the ride.
This is Thomas felling a tree. He's doing what is called a wedge cut. So basically he cuts a triangle part out of the tree that will dictate the way the tree will fall. You can see him flick it out here. And then you go to the back of the tree and you join up the cut and you watch it fall in the direction you picked.
That couldn't have worked out more perfectly!
Now, so as to not leave a sharp tree stump, he cuts it flat.
We started that chainsaw up and the goats all came running because they knew it was cedar tree time.
He's just cleaning up all the branches now, taking them off the chainsaw, and then with these branches we'll throw over for the goats to snack on.
They're so funny. There, happy goats now, and sheep.
Some of these logs were pretty heavy, so it was much easier for us to actually just go ahead and hook them up to the quad and drag them up to the top of the hill.
Now we drag that up, and then the girls will strip the bark off of it, so that will be able to use it for the pergola. This is the carnage of peeling the bark. All right, so the girls are in charge of peeling. So, show us, what do? You get up underneath with a screwdriver, and then, so these are fresh cut. We are literally cutting these today and peeling them today. If you want your cedar to peel, this is when you got to do it right away. The sap is still running underneath them and it's easy to cut. And the spring is the easiest time to get them to cut and peel. All right. So what does the inside feel like, Casey?
Slimy almost.
Yeah, almost slimy and sticky, right? Mm-hmm. But it's very smooth in there, like it's like there's a gel in there. That's just the sap, which makes it really easy to peel it off.
Like aloe.
So you literally just peel, just like that, and it comes right off. And as you can see, this was a goal. AC wanted to see if she could get most of the bark off all in one go. Good job, girls.
Here we're just measuring out where the posts are going to go, and then we're marking the areas that the posts are going to go in. Then we bring the auger over and we're able to auger down. I'm helping guide the auger, clean out the hole and measure it, and then we bring over a very big log to put down. We spend a lot of time making sure that the ground is packed down so the log won't move, and making sure that it is level all the way around. Here we're measuring again the other side, pre-drilling the holes, and then over comes the auger. We're making sure that we're straight. We weren't actually in the right position, so we had to move it a bit and make sure we're in the right position, and then another augering down. Clean off the auger, dig it out a little bit, measure, and bring over the next post. In it goes. We make sure it's straight.
The first two posts of the pergola are in. So the 4 end posts we're going to be able to auger in with the tractor, but the middle 4 posts, unfortunately, we're going to have to dig by hand because we can't get in there with the tractor.
We're on the roadside now, and we're just augering the next post. We actually ended up hitting a very, very large rock. Thomas is just pounding the rock. It was a shale rock, so he was able to break most of it out, and then I was helping dig, and then we were able to actually fish it out of the ground. It caused the whole auger to tilt to the side, so we had to get it out, and it took a little bit. Once we got it out, we were able to auger down properly, measure, and of course then go ahead and put the post in straight, moving the dirt around and pounding it down. Next auger in, clean it off, post in the ground, waiting to see that we're straight, straightening it out, and packing down the ground. So for the middle 4 posts, we actually had to dig by hand. I started with a shovel, and then Thomas popped over to the neighbors and was able to borrow their hand auger, which he is using here, and then measuring and making sure that we're at the right depth before we go ahead and put the next post in. There we go. Next post, measure, make sure you're straight. And Thomas wanted me to point out that he's actually using a wooden hockey stick to pound the ground down to make it a very Canadian experience. You can see right here, it's definitely an old wooden hockey stick. You can see here that we still have 2 posts to go. And here we are measuring and getting ready to put the posts in. This process is the same for all of them. You like to make sure they're straight. Now this last post that we're putting in here is a little wonky. This is what happens when you're cutting trees from your property. You may not get exactly perfect posts, but we made it work. So Thomas right now is tying up blue binder twine, and we're leveling it off. And the reason why we're doing this is we want to be able to cut the tops off so that the tops are all the same height. And when you are spanning 20 feet, the easiest thing to do seemed to be using something we have excess of, and that's binder twine. So there you can see we're just leveling it all off. And now we're going to cut the tops off of all of that so all of our tops are level all the way through. Not only is using a chainsaw on a ladder a little bit difficult, on top of it, Thomas was also trying very hard to make sure none of the offcuts ended up in the middle of the raspberries and breaking them. All right, that's what she looks like so far. Next piece is crossers. Thomas is just checking out his handiwork here. He always likes to look around and make sure that he's done a good job before moving on to the next step.
All right, so today what we managed to get in was our 8 posts, and then we cut the tops and they're all measured and ready to go. And then the next step will be putting all the crossers on and the rest of it. But that's what we have for today. So you can see the pergola there behind me. The plan is that we're going to make the ends strong enough that we can actually put swings on it for the girls, or even their hammocks. They really miss their swing set from the old place. We did bring a couple swings with us that we'll be able to install on the 2 ends. So it's going to be like a multi-purpose pergola. It's going to have climbing things on it, and it'll have the kids' swings. And I think it's also going to add just a really pretty factor to the farm. You'll be able to see it from the road that we live on as people drive by. The one side of the garden, if you're extending down to the raised beds versus the in-ground garden, the in-ground garden has a slight bit more length than the raised bed side, but pretty close to being in the middle.
So here we're just measuring and cutting the boards that will span across the walkway. This will add a little bit of shade through the walkway and support the grapes and the kiwi over the very top of it. Next up was one of the most difficult parts. This log is 20 feet long, and it was very, very heavy. So we were supporting it on one side with the ladder before I was able to raise it up on the other side. And Thomas started with a regular hammer, but when you're sinking 10-inch nails in, you kind of needed a bigger one. So he's moved on to a small mallet. Once we had it in place, though, it went pretty quick, and we were able to get the sides done. So you can see we're doing the same thing with the other side. Again, it's a really heavy log, and we're able to twist it to get it in the area that fits the best. And I just changed the angle so you could actually see a little bit better. You can see that they're very, very long, and they were very, very heavy to deal with, but we managed, and they are definitely going to add strength overall to the whole thing, which is exactly what we need. And these are the end pieces. So this is a thicker end piece, and this one is going to be one of the ones that will be strong enough to put a swing on. Each kid has chosen a side that they are calling it their swinging side. So these ones over top of the posts in the ground are quite a bit thicker than, I would say, the decorative ones that we're putting through the middle. So this one on the end that we're working on right now is another one that is going to be strong enough to hold a swing set for the kids. I slow down here for a sec to open a package, and I want to just show you how big those 10-inch nails are that we're putting through the top, just to give you an idea of how much effort it takes for Thomas to go through all of the logs and make it secure. They were not small nails, that's for sure. So all of these thicker pieces are also put together with 10-inch nails. So it was definitely a little bit of work. So these are the crossing pieces, and they're smaller. We're just leveling them all out, and these are going to cover kind of the walkway, add a little bit of shade, and get a support for the grapes and the kiwi. And these ones we're just putting in using 6-inch nails. Now that is still a significant size of a nail, but it is not as big as the other one, so Thomas was able to switch over to a regular hammer. But if you count, that's still a lot of nails that he's putting in. Thank goodness he has long arms, and he was able to reach the way that he was. So yeah, we're just moving around on all the sides, getting all the nails in everywhere. I'm balancing and handing him the nails. We're finishing here at the end. Just the last little bit. Only a tiny bit left. So I'm going to go ahead and apologize here. The time-lapse part of this one is really choppy. My good camera died. The battery died while we were filming because there was a lot of footage. And so I just switched over to another camera, and the quality just isn't quite as good. But I decided to leave it all in just so that you could still see how we were going about and finishing it. But I really do apologize for the poor quality here during this part of the filming. I hope you can still see what we're doing though. Well, we managed to finish the pergola before the mosquitoes came out and before it got really, really dark. Ta-da! So tomorrow's job will be to plant the grapes and the kiwi to get up on the pergola, and soon it will be covered with fruit, and then we're also going to hang on the end one there and the end one back there. We're gonna hang the kids' swings. They've been dying to have their swings here, so this will be ready for them now to go ahead and put their swings up. So multi-purpose pergola, not only for growing things but for fun too. Just thought we would show you some finished pictures. Well, you can see a little bit more close up without us running around all through it. This is what it looks like in its almost finished state. We still have a few things left to do to finish up on it. It's been a couple days since we finished the pergola, and I thought that I would just show you kind of what we've done to finish it all off. You can see it here on my multi-purpose pergola. I'll just go over what we've planted and how we finished it all up. So I actually had to extend the garden beds there, so that's raspberries in behind. And then in the front here, I have 2 hascaps. I believe these ones are Aurora and Borealis. And then behind the hascaps here, I have kiwi, and I've just kind of put a stick so that it can start to go around. The same on this side. And then the kids have their swings, and we call that the pod. It's like a little sitting hammock. Got some wind chimes up here. And then there's my surprise grape that I won in the
the photo contest. And then there's a grape under this post, under this post, under this post. There's a grape over there in the corner there, and a grape in the corner right there. So let me just back up and you can have a look. So this is actually, I'm standing on the roadside, so this is the view that you see coming through. So eventually it'll all have grapevines up through it and the kiwi vines, and the kids spend hours out here on the swing, so everybody's pretty happy with it. I hope this video has been helpful for you. I know a lot of it was in time lapse. I hope I was able to explain what we were doing through the video well enough that you understood. As you can see, it was all materials minus the big spikes that we repurposed here from the farm, cutting from the wood and stuff like that, and multi-purpose, and I think it looks pretty good. Just wanted to come back quick. We're a number of days after the last video that I did. As you can tell, the goats are now on the other side, so I'm standing on the roadside of the garden, but I wanted to show you, we got the fabric down. So again, for those of you that don't know, this is a porous weed barrier. That means the water goes through, but the weeds hopefully can't come out. And we actually went ahead and did between all the raspberry beds, and my whole garden has it. Back up so you can see it here. Here we go. There is our completely finished pergola with the fabric barrier down, the kid swing sets. Like I said, the pod is just put away because we were watering in here last night and I didn't want the fabric of the pod to get wet. But that's it. There she is. She's all done. Thanks for hanging out with us on the farm. We'll see you next time. Bye.